Express. I'm here for Exodus to Shanghai, which I co-wrote with Michel Adam and directed.
What was the process of writing with Michel Adam?
It was kind of interesting because he's very good at concept and great at ideas, so he had this crazy idea, and I'm pretty good at writing detailed screenplays, so it was basically he did the first part, and I went and wrote the dialogue, and then he goes back and says, oh yeah, but why don't we have a Nazi saluting dog? And I'm like, yeah, great. It's very funny because Michel and I have the same sensibility, which is a very insane one. Nobody else would let me do this movie like I have. Nobody. So it's actually great because everybody would look at me and I go, I want this with this, and they'd like go, that'll never happen. And I just call Michel. Michel would go, yeah, fantastic, more. So,
and how long was that process of writing before it actually went into?
Oh, it was all very fast, which is another whole story. But I was writing at night for the day.
Was it like more than?
Michel would come over with a bottle of vodka and we'd kick around some ideas, and then the next day we'd film it. So.
And then the actual production, how long was that?
Oh well, the whole thing took 9 months, but I can't tell you how many days we shot it in.
So
give it away.
How did you want to portray Hitler here?
I want all extremists to look like idiots. This isn't about Nazis to me. It was just a platform. That's why I made it a fantasy world. We keep on bringing him back into reality, so it did actually happen. Because it's so unbelievable that it happened. So I wanted it just to seem so ridiculous, and then, wow, but this really happened.
People seem to react very positively to kind of caricature of Hitler looking dumb, and that's people. That's a favorite.
Extremists are dumb. There's one guy who wants a lot of power, and everybody else is just following in their footsteps because they're hoping they get a little.
We're just don't want anyone to get hurt. And how did you balance? Was there any kind of self-consciousness as a writer in terms of like, how are people going to respond? Whatever issues might be sensitive to some populations, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes. And I didn't want to think too much about that, but I couldn't help it, especially when the first screening we had in LA where they had the head of the Holocaust Museum, and I was like, oh my God, it could be a disaster.
And?
So, well, he loved it. He went on camera and said this is the most important movie on the subject since Schindler's. So, even despite the gay Nazi orgies.
It's funny, I spoke yesterday with Adam saying people call Dr. Ho the Chinese Schindler, and it's an interesting comparison.
That's the true story behind it. It's amazing because this guy was incredible, and the Chinese government buried him until about 2 years ago. They didn't want anybody to know because he went up against the government, which nobody's meant to do. But then they realized, hold on, he did a great thing. He went up against a bad government.
And considering that it's such an important story, and just to say that I've actually heard about it when I was at the Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, do you find that perhaps there can be another, like this is just almost opening the door to this story?
Yes, it's not really the way it was done. I knew I didn't have the resources to do it like Schindler's, which has been done. Spielberg, I'm not going to do better than that when you tell that story, so I had to find another angle of it. But using him and what he did, the star of the movie.
Hey, while we're at it, hey, maybe you can just kind of explain a bit about how your working relationship evolved.
Challenging. A lot of fun.
Yeah?
Well, we're both James Bond fans, so that was the initial thing. It was like just be Bond,
What would you say to people who told me the film looks like a little bit of a Jackie Chan, like humor and action?
It is a bit. More like Tintin to me. The world and the colours were for Hergé, and I wanted him to be a 1930s James Bond. I don't think Jackie Chan is it because we stayed away from the kung fu.
Yes, we didn't want it to do like kung fu, crazy stuff. Just something realistic.
Yeah. And actually, there was a funny. I told you this was a martial artist.
Yeah,
because you said it's exactly the right how they would have fought in those days with a mixture of boxing and things, not all flying down and playing around.
flying daggers and all of that.
Yeah, which is fine.
Which is fine, yeah.
But we couldn't afford to do flying daggers. Maybe we could. We had to learn, so we went for the old-fashioned.
Also, do you accept the reference to Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds and that type of...
How can we not? Or Tarantino in general.
Yes.
It's a great director as well. And I mean, we reinvent everything. We don't quit.
Yeah, we didn't want to copy.
We
We like the tone. I love his tone, where he goes to the edge and he pushes you to make you think. And this movie hopefully makes you think about
With
many
humor.
things. With humor, yeah. Because I don't think it's only about the Holocaust, it's also about freedom of expression. You know, the whole thing with the painting. And that's why the violence is so Jackson Pollock. So literally with Jackson Pollock, all the blood, because it's like, if you don't like it, then that's your opinion. You know, this is
Another question also about the role of Adam, because this is a story about his mother in the end. So how did did that weigh upon you? Like, oh, she has to be...
It weighed upon me how important it was for the Jewish people all the time. What important, because I found out much more about it than I knew. So for that, it was amazing. And then working in Tel Aviv, it became even more important when we were doing the edit. I realized what a responsibility it was. With Michel, even though it is about another, he still wants 1,000 Nazis being killed. So it's like, he's got that crazy sensibility about it.
Didn't it the line of the movie, remember? Catch line?
You have a beautiful eyes.
No,
No, the other
I
one.
always wanted to hear a Jew play Wagner. So that's one of my favorites.
And the other one, the one on the poster.
The only good Nazis are dead Nazis.
Exactly.
You know,